I'm back, everybody. And it's time for me to continue the next 5 on my top 25 favorite films to watch during Halloween. And I think we are going to be going into the good stuff, though. Let me see where I left off. Let's see. Tamara Casper, should we probably shot? Okay, this one. I think you'll love this next one. Number 20. As a kid, I loved the House of Mouse show. And they really did bring me back to my childhood with watching all those great cartoons in the show. And even seeing all the random Disney characters that appeared around the diner. However, around this time of year, I had to choose Mickey's House of Villains as my number 20 spot. The plot of this one revolves like Jafar and the other Disney villains planning to take over the House of Mouse during Halloween. And while they wait until midnight, Mickey and the gang play some, memorable cartoons from Mickey Mouse Works or ones that people may have seen on Disney's Halloween Treat. Cartoons like Trick or Treat, Mickey's Mechanical House, Lonesome Ghosts, Donald Duck and the Gorilla, Donald's Halloween Haunt, even Hansel and Gretel, even the Dance of the Goofies. And also these cartoons are really memorable, and also some of the stuff that goes on at the House of Mouse is really fun at times. Even the villain song, It's Our House Now, is pretty catchy for a villain song that's sung by all the Disney villains. Good times. Mickey's House of Villains. A Halloween film which you can watch at your house now. Okay. Number 19. Young Frankenstein. If you're familiar with the book by Mary Shelley, you know a little bit about this one. However, this one is based on the great genius mind of Mel Brooks. The story goes about a man named Dr. Frederick Frankenstein receives a will from his ancestor, who was the original Frankenstein, and he goes to Transylvania to meet up with his new partner, Igor and Inga, to make their own certain human from it, like by grave robbing and recycling a certain brain. However, certain gags and jokes that happen, and even with the cast, is really, really funny. Even the part when they do put it on the Ritz. Mel Brooks, you really are a genius. And I'll be looking forward to hearing Mel Brooks' voice soon in the upcoming Mr. Peabody and Sherman film next March. Young Frankenstein. Mel Brooks' geniusness that'll make you may want to cry out, "Blah!" Number 18. Okay. To be honest, Disneyland is one of my favorite places in the whole world. However, I also want to live there one day. But, well, my tongue's all twisted. My number 18th spot goes to Tower of Terror. This one, based on the classic ride at the Hollywood Studios and the one at California Adventure, is kind of low because this one did not make a theatrical release like Country Bears or Pirates of the Caribbean. This one actually it only aired on television, and it's pretty good. Like, it's more of a mystery film than a horror film, though. Like, you may already know the plot of Mystery, though. Like, 5 people check into a hotel, and all of a sudden, like, something strange, when they're going to a Halloween party at the Tip Top Club, their elevator just somehow stops, and then they're ghosts. 60 years later, a reporter named Buzzy Crocker is asked to investigate to help what's going on with it by a woman named Abigail Gregory, who is secretly the villain of the film because of her jealousy towards one of the people in it. And also, there to help Buzzy with finding out what the problem, what happened, is Chris Q. Todd, the caretaker / next in line hotel manager, and also his niece Anna, played by Kirsten Dunst. She's also my favorite character in this film too. But some parts can be a little creepy for a television-made movie, though. Sorry, frog in my throat. And if you're a fan of the classic of the ride at Disneyland, you should check this movie out. Tower of Terror. Drop in if you dare. Number 17. Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events. Okay, I really don't know if I might be cheating on this one, since I don't know if people would actually watch this one during Halloween, but it does have a certain the basics of certain thing you'd really watch on Halloween. Here's the plot. Brad Sibling is trying to mix the first three books into a 90-minute movie, which I believe is a great path to go, better than that horrible Last Airbender movie that was made years later. It's about three orphans who lost their home in a fire and their family, and is forced to live with an evil man named Count Olaf, who's after their family fortune. But after a certain train accident, they move away from Olaf, who, to certain other relatives that they don't seem to know, like their Uncle Monty or their Aunt Josephine, and who seem to know about the Baudelaire parents. And while the Baudelaires know it, Olaf seems to be, following them in disguise as two other people. This film does have some pretty creepy stuff, like not just the train part, but also the leeches, the viper, and also other things. Even the hurricane part is pretty scary. Still, I'll never forget the time I saw it in theaters that I kind of believed the little girl Sunny reminded me of my goddaughter Elizabeth. She's adorable. Still, if you're a fan of the book saga, check this movie out. You might love it. Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events. A film that's a bit unpleasant, but still makes you feel fortunate. My last spot on part 2. Remember what I said about Tim Burton being one of my favorite directors of all time? He's adapted books, TV shows, musicals, real people, old films, trading cards, and some of them may appear further up the list. Like this one, for instance, Corpse Bride, which was released in 2005, not many months after he released Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Corpse Bride is the same kind of animation as The Nightmare Before Christmas, and some people may consider this as romance, but it does have something like Halloween in it as well, like the dead in it. The story goes about Victor Van Dort after messing up at his wedding rehearsal to a girl named Victoria Everglot. He goes into the woods to practice his vows, but all of a sudden accidentally marries a corpse named Emily, played by Helena Bonham Carter, and meets up with several dead people in the underworld. The songs are also very catchy, though, and kudos to that great genius, Danny Elfman, for writing the score and songs. And also, Emily's backstory and song is catchy, but also a bit sad. Even when I found out that the villain was the one who killed her in the first place. And also, Scraps is kind of like Zero. It's Corpse Bride, a film you may want to watch until the very remains of the day. Well, that's about all I gotta say right now. But I'm still not done yet. Only 3 parts to go on my countdown. So, I'll see you all next time for the next few. Bye-bye.